Hey there, it's Amy from thecrazycraftlady.com. I was at the dollar store the other day and I saw these super cute stacked pumpkin little wall sign door hanger decor things, and I thought it'd be really fun to decorate them in a different style. So I just bought one and I decided to decorate both sides to give you a little bit of craft inspiration. So the first side I started on the undecorated plain cardboard backer. And I just gave it a base coat with white Rust-Oleum chalk paint. So just any like white paint, or even if you have like white primer, just because that cardboard does tend to soak up a fair amount of paint. And then I took a pencil and I very, very lightly kind of sketched at the bottom of the top two pumpkins, those arches for the little pumpkin bottoms so that it would look like it was stacked. And then I just got really creative with my chalk paint. Okay, so bear with me, please do not give up on this. Anyone can paint a pumpkin. I've mastered pumpkins and pine trees. That's about all I can paint. And it's so easy. I think half the battle is finding the right paint colors. So I will list the paint colors in the video description below. They're all DecoArt chalk paint, chalky finish paints. And so I just started, and I made sure to cover the pencil marks first, so make sure that those are nice and covered. And then just a solid base coat with, this is kind of like a muted peachy orange color. We're gonna be doing like the fairy tale pumpkins, so I really went with like the more muted farmhouse style colors. If that's not your style, feel free to use bright orange, whatever you like. And so you just do a solid base coat with your like medium orange shade, right? And then you come in and you just layer some lighter and some darker. So I started with the lighter, it was almost like a blush pink color, and you follow the natural arches of the pumpkin. So if you can paint, like a parentheses, like a bracket, or like almost like a C shape but shallower, that's all you're gonna do. Just keep layering in. I added some darker paint and then some more lighter paint, and just keep playing around with it until you get the desired paint finish that you like. And so I played around with the orange until I was happy, and then I jumped up to the top pumpkin and I painted green. So just some light green, solid base coat there. And then I layered in some dark green and some off-white as well. You'll see on this one, I think because it was like the top pumpkin, you had, I don't know why, I painted more like 3 ovals. So there's kind of 2 schools of thought when you paint pumpkins. One is you're just painting that C shape. The other one is that you're painting 3 ovals. So you can think of it either way. On this top pumpkin, I started more with the oval shape and I wasn't as happy, so I kind of went back more to my C shape technique. But it really is a matter of personal preference. And the nice thing about paint is you can't really screw it up. Just like add more paint or let it dry and try again. And then finally for that middle pumpkin, I just used this beautiful off-white color. It's called Parchment, and it is my new favorite off-white. So I use Rust-Oleum white linen chalk paint for a lot of my projects when I want like a bright crisp white, but this DecoArt Parchment is the bee's knees for an off-white craft paint color. And then I just layered in on the pumpkin stem some dark brown and some taupe paint, and I actually did not have dark brown chalk paint, and it's so funny switching back to acrylic paint after using so much chalk paint. The acrylic paint almost felt watery compared to the chalk paint. Like the coverage is like so drastically different. But you can mix acrylic craft paint and chalk paint. I do it all the time because I can't always find the exact right color in my craft stash in the paint finish that I need. And then I just finished this off with a simple bow. So I wrapped this twine around my hand 10 times, made a little bundle, and then secured it in the center with a knot. This is just craft baker's twine. I got it at Michael's just last week, and it's kind of like this creamy twine, so it matches the middle pumpkin, and then it has some gold floss layered in with it, so it's really cute. Okay, and then I decided to be super economical here, and I didn't want to waste 2 stacked pumpkin door hangers. So I decorated both sides, and I'll let you guys decide which is your favorite. I will say, if you're not into the painting or you don't think you have the painting skills, this one is super duper easy. Anyone can do it. You got this. Okay, so I just peeled all the paper backing off, and I know some people are going to be like, that's a little unnecessary, Amy, and I disagree. Because it's hard to see, but that black with the jack-o'-lantern faces actually has quite a bit of texture, and it's glittery. And we're going to be adding scrapbook paper to this, and depending on the thickness of your scrapbook paper, I wanted everything to go on smoothly. So I just grabbed my heat gun and I peeled away that paper, and it all came up pretty easily. And then I had a smooth, even surface to work with. And then I just dug into my craft stash, grabbed some scrapbook paper. And so I just started at the bottom, traced out that bottom pumpkin, and cut it out. So it's easiest to just lay the pumpkin stack right on the scrapbook paper, trace it onto the front side of the scrapbook paper, and then trim just inside your traced line. And then use a bunch of Mod Podge, apply Mod Podge all over that bottom section, and then smooth that scrapbook paper right on top. Then you just move right up to the next pumpkin, trace that center section, plus a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom. So you'll see here in a second when I get this cut out that it's not just the body of the middle pumpkin. We're extending the paper cutout a little bit above and below it as well. And the reason here is because I want to have stacked pumpkins. So once again, I'm going to trace that arch at that bottom of that pumpkin lightly with a pencil, and then you can just cut out those arches and then Mod Podge that pumpkin right on. And then you want that paper to extend a little bit at the top as well, so that when you layer the next pumpkin on top, none of that cardboard backer shows through. So just more Mod Podge, smooth the paper down, and then repeat that same process with the top. And then I decided to finish this off with some wooden half balls. I will link to them below. I get them on Amazon. And I just very quickly dry fit them all around the perimeter of each of the pumpkins. So I prefer to dry fit these first, just to make sure that the spacing is going to work out and everything is like nice and evenly spaced. And then I come back with wood glue, and I'm used to using Gorilla Wood glue, which is a lot thicker. So when I went to pour this in my paint tray, huge mess. It like overflowed. But anyway, it's not all as pretty, but we get the job done around here, right? So then I just take a little paintbrush and glue each of the half wood balls onto my project. So pull up Netflix, get comfy, because it's going to take a while, but it's not difficult. Like, I like to think that even my more involved projects that I share with you guys, yeah, they may take a while, but hopefully they're not too difficult. I try to keep things pretty easy around here. And then here are my 2 finished stacked pumpkin, door hanger, wall sign, whatever you want to do with them. I'd love to hear in the comments below, 1, which one is your favorite, and too what you would do with these. Would you hang them on a door? I think it'd be fun to put it like in a pot to make it look like a real topiary. Add it to a mantle with any of like your fall displays. The sky really is the limit, and I'm super happy that I snagged these at Dollar Tree. I do hope you enjoyed following along with this craft project. Until next time, happy making.